This morning, we're looking at the most talked about issues this week. And of course, it will definitely be around the cocoa price. And also one very major issue that has, it's not the first time we're hearing this, but until this week, we've not really heard about these issues for a very long time, baby theft. And so one will be asking what would actually push a woman to go to that extent of taking someone's baby as her own and, landing her in the situation that she finds herself in right now. We'll get that conversation also as part of our, things that we're looking at this morning here on the show. Do well to send your messages. Our WhatsApp line is active. We're streaming live on Facebook. You can go there in real time. Be getting time to read your message. On Fridays we do this with you, so please do well and join us. A bit later, we'll try and see if we can open the Zoom for you to also join us over there and share your thought with us on these two issues that we are looking at. My guests are in the studio. I've got a couple of the newspapers over here to look at as well. But let me introduce my guests in the studio, and then I quickly look at the front pages of the newspapers. Then we're getting to the major conversations. Joining me this morning here on the show is my brother, Isaac Jay Hyde, and he is the Deputy Youth Organizer for the NPP. Good to see you, my brother. All good?
Good to see you, KMJ.
It's another Friday.
You're looking good, though.
I try.
You did form.
You don't mean to do opposition,
I'm
for
actually
me to be trying like this.
Because somewhere in Western North, cocoa farmers,
Oh, is it?
I'm telling you, it's unfortunate, but
I see miracles been going around.
Yes, I mean, you can't help it when over 1 million people, working within a sector that has anchored Ghana's economy for a very long time, are treated this way. I mean, it's a breach of trust for these farmers, and I think that collectively we must all, come up in support of the cocoa farmers. The government promised them that it was going to stand by them. The government assured them that whatever they need, they are going to do what it takes to ensure that we expand the cocoa farming base. But today, what are we seeing? Increased galamsey. I mean, government is even going behind the scenes under the cover of darkness to be taxing the same things that they condemn. I think that this is the time Ghanaians need to rise up and ask the government to do what is right.
Okay.
Many things have happened in the past, and government has shouldered the burden of it. In fact, when banks failed, governments gave funds to support some of the banks. It is never too late for our government to also say that, we recognize the importance of farming, and we need to incentivize as many Ghanaian people to go into farming, and therefore the cocoa farmer should not be made to bear the brunt of the challenges we face today.
Very well. It's one of the issues that we'll be looking at. In fact, last week, it's been a major conversation, and our reporter, Jacqueline, has also been going about, to many other places of speaking to cocoa farmers and all that. I'm sure we'll get into that also here on the show. But also joining me this morning is Julius Anthony. He's also an NEC communications team member here on the show. He's also family here on the show.
He's actually a presidential staffer.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Oh, Julius, I didn't know about that. So should I elevate it to presidential staffer now?
Well, whatever we are, we still speak for the party. The party birthed the government, and we would continue in dedicated service to the NDC that birthed the government and ensure that in government we deliver to the expectation of the Ghanaian people. It is in both, the interest of maintaining a working party and a working government that we all act. And so whatever designation
in whatever capacity
you give, whatever capacity,
Mother Ghana.
Yes, that's the whole point. But for me, I would want to say, for the record, because my brother has decided to use his introductory.
Are you all going to go on that?
Introductory comments to go on the same.
You don't want to wait for the topic so you can.
Anyway. Certain things must be put out. As of today, government has paid over 1.09 billion Ghana cedis has been disbursed to pay all cocoa farmers who have, hitherto not been paid, by the LBCs that were contracted to, purchase beans from them. As of today, in demonstrating some passion, some compassion with the cocoa farmers, and we must put on record that what we are dealing with is a world market price crisis of cocoa. It is not the doing of any government. It is a matter of a fact. I mean, if sanity would prevail in any conversation with relation to this matter, matters of fact should not be disputed. What is the world market price of cocoa today? It's less than $4,000 per ton. And anyone who sends any commodity to the market, it doesn't matter what the commodity is. The expectation is that you would get what is the prevailing market value of that commodity. If systems exist, which are ensured, entrenched to ensure that the producers get a certain value for what they offer. For example, we were telling the cocoa farmers in opposition that they deserved 70% of the FOB price of cocoa at the time. As of now, the system we have put in place is giving them more than 90% of the FOB price of cocoa. A critical question then becomes, how can a case of, they said we are cheating farmers, they said we have done haircut and all of those things, how can that case be made in the face of these facts? You send a commodity to the market, you get 90% of it. Someone else was giving you 25% of the price of cocoa. If you look at the 2022-2023 crop year, and you look at the 2023-2024 crop year, and you look at the FOB price of cocoa at the time, was ranging between $9,000 to $10,000. In fact, for the 2023-2024 crop year, it ranged up to $12,000 at some point. But the MPP was giving the farmer less than 25% of that. And they would come and just mention the nominal figure in cedis without analyzing what the price of cocoa on FOB basis in the markets at that time is supposed to be and what they were giving the farmers. When we look at all these things holistically and we are faced with, a certain tirade of propaganda, which my learned senior brother wanted to start this morning with, we must face the people with the facts and bring the Ghanaian people to the realization that if there is anything that has destroyed the cocoa sector, it is the actions of the MPP over this period. And my job this morning would be simple, to lay those facts bare, and they would be undisputed facts. And I'll be willing that you subject me to street proof we'll do that on those matters.
We'll do that because, like we all, saying this is one of the sectors that has really, supported this country for the longest. I mean, so for those who directly get themselves involved in ensuring that we get to experience all of these things to be going through that, I mean, obviously it's one of the things that we need to pay critical attention to. So I'm excited that we're all going to help in finding solutions to this matter. But also here with me in the studio is Matthias Bonzo-Ewereko. I hope I got the name right.
Yeah, you got it right.
Okay, the Ewereko was what I was thinking.
Ewereko. Yeah, I'm a proud Nzima, so.
Oh, that's an Nzima.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, the account says Reko. We say Reko. They say Bonsu, we say Bonzo.
Bonzo. Yeah. Oh, I see. Well, he's Executive Director for Center for Global Affairs and Responsible Governance. I'm glad you're able to join us this morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, in studio. Thank you so much for the time. Quickly, let me see what the newspapers have today. And of course, some of the stories have been captured, stories that we'll be looking at here on the show. Daily Graphic is here and it says, President signs 24-hour economy law, paves way for economic transformation framework. And I'm sure next week there's going to be some interrogation in this very, 24-hour economy and what the next stage will be moving forward from the signing of the whole bill into law. We'll be looking at that. GRA National Security sees tracks in tax evasion bust, and the Cocoa Board pays 1 billion Ghana cedis to cocoa farmers. That's captured on the front page of Daily Graphic. Away from that, the Chronicle is here, and it says cocoa farmers protest mid-season price cut, and Hamas 855 million Ghana cedis hamper for cocoa farmers. And it's got some quotation over there. Some Romans 12:12. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. And I'm sure it has every connection to the Hamas 855 million. Ghana cedi hamper. Now, away from that, the insight is here. It says civil insurance CEO backs local capacity to underwrite Ghana's marine cargo risk, and the Cuban Revolution holds out against U.S. imperialism. Wake up to neo-colonial threats. That's Sam Jonah urging African leaders. Majority rebuts minorities' cocoa claims, cites crippling legacy, debts, low production prices as well. And La Shiki Tele Ni Ajay Kofe, the 4th month late La Kawulume, no more Yomo Obruni. That's it. Okay, so that's also captured by the inside. Now, away from that, the Daily Gist, which will be my last one, says EC boss escapes mosquito stagger. What an interesting headline. I mean, ow. Mosquito, I'm presuming that it's General Mosquito.
General Mosquito.
He wanted her out.
it's not the case that General Mosquito wanted her out. It is the case of whether or not the conduct of the Electoral Commissioner over the period within our constitutional framework warrants her continuous stay in office. It is not the case of whether General Mosquito wants her out or not.
Well,
the conduct of the Electoral Commission, of course, I mean, the Lord Chief Justice is the one in whose, authority the law resides to determine whether or not she should be out. But the fact still remains that we who are continuous observers of the political process in this country saw what happened in the case of Sal, the demonstrable incompetence that led to the denial of an entire constituency representation in Parliament for 4 whole years. We saw the issues of missing equipment that have a bearing on the very credibility of elections in this country. If those issues are raised, and the Honorable Johnson Asiedu Nketia, like all other reasonable Ghanaian observers, says that the Electoral Commission should not continuously remain in office, it is not the case that he is in pursuit of the Electoral Commission. It is the case of whether or not those conducts over this period should warrant a person remaining in office for this long. I think not. I think not.
All right, very well. Vincent Asafo petitions OSP Shraj over conflict of interest at Cocoa Board, and cocoa farmers reject Mohammed's 28% haircut. Mohammed sends 24-hour economy authority bill. Rounds 4 Jump 6 for grades pops up again. Tobikwachi fails assets declaration test. That's also on the front page of the Daily Gist. Those will be the stories making rounds on the front pages of the newspapers that we have today. You can grab copies of them and read all about it. But a big thank you once again to Franco Trading Enterprise, and also we say a big thank you to Kuwait Natural Fruit Juice as well for making this possible here on News Flash. Now, let's start off with the cocoa pricing issue. Since both of you actually made, opening comments on it and have said so many things about it already. Maybe we can start from there. But I'll start with Matthias.
Yeah.
He's never spoken about that yet. So it's okay that I start with him.
Let me say a very good morning to your cherished viewers, and also say a good morning to my boss and senior brother, Patrick Yabuama, and also say good morning to my father, Josie Payanke. And then another good morning goes to the Ghanaian ambassador to China, the Honorable Kojo Bonsu. You know, this cocoa issue has become a very, 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 very important issue in Ghana. And I've heard a lot of people comparing the situation in Ghana to that of La Côte d'Ivoire.
Yeah.
But in French, we say comparaison n'est pas raison. To it, comparison doesn't mean you are right.
Okay.
You understand? Why are we seated here discussing this issue? Well, why has it taken us almost a week and over still discussing this cocoa issue? I think that it is a matter of communication gone wrong. And it is also a matter of promises made in opposition. You know, in French, again, we say, montre-moi ce que tu manges, et je te montrerai ce que tu es. Show me what you eat, and I will show you who you are. So whatever, it's like saying, whatever you show me what you say, and I will show you who you really are. I think that in opposition, the current government played with the mind of the cocoa farmers. And you going as far as saying that when we come, we will give you 6,000. That the former government was cheating you, they're supposed to do this, do that. The current agric minister was on one of your sister stations, Onia TV. And Captain Smart asked him a specific question. He said, I said, yes, you're the best. The same man in opposition said, Aban Kachre say, Yati Kukuswa. Now, on one person this kind of man, what scano ewo. So when you tell people all these things, and then you come to power, and you are telling them that they should accept things that you thought were not good then, today, it becomes a problem.
But you know, the argument has always been the fact that at that period, the global market was doing better, way better than what is happening right now. So those people deserved what was supposed to have been given to them at that material moment. So that's where the argument is going now. Yesterday, I spoke on the communications of the NDC, and he also mentioned the same thing.
I have argued with my friends. Yesterday on a platform, you were having a very serious argument.
Yeah.
Let me tell you one thing. If it is the world market that has gone down, we will term it as an external shock, okay? Because in French, we say, c'est un force majeure. You didn't expect it to happen, and it happened.
Yeah.
And then that will make the former administration heroes, because something happened, something they were not expecting. Let's say COVID, for instance, happened. During the time of COVID, cocoa price went down.
That's false. Completely false.
During the time of COVID, cocoa price went down. When the price went down, the president then, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, made a categorical statement. He was on a platform, I can send you the video. He was on a platform, and then he made it clear that we've had external shocks. Due to COVID, cocoa prices has gone down. But they are not going to reduce the prices. They will cushion the cocoa farmers. So in the video, cocoa farmers were jubilated all over. So one good thing deserves another, good, true or not. Yeah, so it has happened at a particular time, and it is happening today. Why the cut? So the cocoa farmer is not thinking about all this big English and all this stuff. You understand? It's looking at what you promised.
The promise you gave me.
Yes. And then two, there's another big issue. Let's say the cocoa farmer in my constituency, Elembele, is employing somebody who has left the north, especially in my constituency, for instance, in Elembele. The people really working on the cocoa farms are people who have migrated from the northern part of this country. But when the person was leaving the northern part to come to Elembele in his mind, eastern part, the person had in its mind that, okay, when at this journey that I'm embarking on, the owner of the cocoa, when I go and work for the owner of the cocoa farm, the person is going to pay me, let's say, 1,000 cedis, because the person is receiving 3,600. So he's going to pay me 1,000 cedis out of the 3,600. That is what the guy from the north accepted and then moved to my constituency in Elembele. Today, that the farmer in my constituency is receiving 2,000.
Less than that, what he was receiving before.
You see, there's a problem. There's a gap. So the person working on the cocoa farm, is he going to still accept the arrangement that they had in the beginning, or they have to rearrange or renegotiate? So it is not just a matter of playing politics with it. There are real issues that we really need to look at. Again, yesterday I tried to go and look at the budget statement of Twitter.
Okay, wrapping up for me.
Yeah, I'm going to look at the budget statement. And it is clear that as at the time the finance minister was reading the budget, he knew that in 2012, the cocoa season as at this time was going to go down. He knew it. So why did they have to wait all this long? You understand? Why did they have to wait all this long? I let me congratulate the administration. I have seen most of their communicators and most of their...
They're trying to make some payments too as well.
Yeah, they made, the best thing is that they've been apologizing, you understand, saying sorry.
Which is good.
Which is good, you understand. And this is how they were supposed to go from the beginning. Just by not trying to say that the former government left some debt that you need to pay and all this. For me, I think now they are paying, they've started apologizing, and I think it's the best way to go.
Okay, very well. Thank you very much. Let me go to Julius. Julius, let me have your take on that, and then I'll move to...
KMJ.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. You see, I believe that we can be empathetic with the plight of our cocoa farmers in the face of a global crash of cocoa prices that necessitates a reduction in the returns that they are making on their produce, while at the same time being honest transparent, and factual with the issues as they are. Both things can exist. It is for that reason that I am going to dispute with the facts as they are, claims that have been made by my senior brother on the matter of, first, cocoa prices crashing in 2019 and 2020, and second, that the NDC deceived cocoa farmers in opposition. I don't know why everybody, I mean the MPP and its elements and some commentators, I don't know which political party he belongs to, by the way, are either falling for the deception from the MPP or engaging in the deception themselves. What was the world market price of cocoa in 2019, in 2020, in 2021 even? In fact, for purposes of this analysis, a claim as to whether or not cocoa prices crashed during COVID, we would have to look at 2018 and 2017 as well to see if there are price variations that can be categorized as a crash.
They were around the $2,000, a little over $2,000.
Good. I was surprised that you did not ask questions when he said those things. So I want to bounce the question back to my brother. That was the price in 2017, 18, 19, 20, 2021. Those periods, for you to conclude that there was a crash in world market price of cocoa during COVID. COVID happened in 2019 and went into 2020. What was the price in those years compared to the previous years and the years subsequent that you was there a crash?
I did not speak.
So you're around 2,000.
Please, but we want to be clear.
Hovering around that.
Was there a crash? I want to be clear on that front, because he said there was.
As in 2017, 2018, 2019.
There was no COVID in 2017.
Yes, but
was there COVID
so you're making reference to those years.
No, because
so you're looking at 2020, 2019,
you need the
right?
figures from 2017, 2018.
Those are the ones that I was mentioning to you.
Yes, to know that if there is a dip in 2019 and 2020, then you conclude there was a crash in COVID. It is the reason why I'm asking him if he can give us those figures. I have it. So if he has it and can demonstrate the crash, he should be able to do that. Let's not peddle falsehood. When we are empathizing with the people of Ghana, we must be honest and truthful as well. He is not being honest and truthful, and here's the reason why. What was the world market price of cocoa in 2017? It was $2,030.
29.
$2,030 per ton. 2018, it was $2,292 per ton. That's 2018. 2019, it was $2,341 per ton. It's even an increment marginally in COVID 2019. In 2020, it was 2,367. So please, where was the crash? So please, we can demonstrate empathy while being very honest to the people we are dealing with, the cocoa farmers. We should not use deception. When you start with deception, what it implies is that you are not being empathetic with the plight of the people. You have an ulterior agenda, which is to create a certain image as though one government did well for the people of Ghana, the cocoa farmers, and another government is doing that. Please, it is not the case. And if we are going to have this conversation in honesty and empathy, we must admit those facts. So my brother must admit here and now that he was deceiving us on that matter.
No.
The second, you were.
No.
Are we coming to
Matthias, I'll come back to you.
The figures I laid out, are they false or not? Are they correct or not? So you must be willing to
let's make progress. Let's go to the next one.
The second issue is a certain claim that our government engaged in deception in opposition. How can that be true? We argue and we insist on that. There are videos of the Honorable Kasil Atto-Forson speaking on this matter. There are videos of the Agric Minister speaking on this matter. And the argument of both of them, and by extension the National Democratic Congress, is that the fair thing to do to the cocoa farmer is to ensure that the cocoa farmer gets at least 70% of the FOB price on every ton of cocoa. That is the argument of the National Democratic Congress. And we made that argument premised on the fact that in crop year 2022-2023 and 2023-2024, the MPP was paying the farmer less than 25% of the FOB price. And what accounted for that? What accounted for it was a series of bad policy choices that locked them in at a forward sale agreement that could not make them take advantage of the spot price at the time. What did the MPP do? In crop year 2022-2023, the MPP entered into a forward sale agreement that locked in Ghana's cocoa revenues, whatever we will get from cocoa farm per ton, at 3,200 per ton. Do you know what happened in that year? The price of cocoa per ton rose on the spot price to over $9,600 to $10,000. Now, our argument is that were it not for your strategic policy failure, where you locked us in at $3,200 per ton, and if you were raking in $9,600 or $10,000, at the time, exchange rate rose beyond 14 Ghana cedis to 15 Ghana cedis. The farmer should have been getting at that prevailing rate at least 6,000 to 7,000. That is our argument, which will constitute 70% of the FOB price at the time. How can this be deception? Is it true, KMG? And I say everything and ask you to subject me to proof. All of them, they should subject me to proof. Is it true that the FOB price at the time, what do you call it, the spot market price of cocoa, at the time we were saying that the farmer should have been getting 6,000 cedis, cocoa was trading at $9,600? Is it true or not? It is true. What was the MPP giving Ghanaian farmers? Does it correspond to 70% of them?
So your communication at the time, was different from what they are saying.
It is factual. It was factual then. It is factual now. 70% of FOB price at the time, at the prevailing market rate of $9,600 per ton or $10,000 per ton, should have been giving the farmer at that time at least 6,000 to 7,000 Ghana cedis at the prevailing exchange rate. That is what we said. Now, if you just oppose that position to what is the position of the NDC government now on the world market price of cocoa, we are giving farmers up to 90% of the FOB price, far above even the 70% that we promised. The difference, the only reason why we are having this conversation, another issue of fact, is that the world market price of cocoa has actually dipped, which is a matter of fact as well. As of today, KMG, subject me to proof. What is the world market price of cocoa? As of this morning, I checked, it was less than $4,000 per ton. So cocoa, like any other commodity, in as much as it is extremely important to the survivability of our economy, and if you would give me time, I will demonstrate to what extent cocoa would have changed the fortune of this country, but for the bad policy choices of their administration. I will show that to you. Cocoa, in as much as it has that significant contribution to the economy, one fact remains that cocoa is a commodity like any other. Like mango, tomatoes, all of them, is a commodity you send to the market. It is not like salaries, where you say that someone has come to cut it down for you. It is a matter of you trading at the prevailing market price. What is the prevailing market price? What returns do you get? You have two people who are supposed to do trading on your behalf. Say we are in this studio. I take the commodity from you. When I sell it, I give you 25% of the amount that I am supposed to bring. Another person takes it and sells it and gives you 90% of the amount. Then there is an argument that because the time the person who gave you 90% of the amount, the price was lower on the market, then that person is doing you injustice. But the person who took the thing from you at the time that the price was higher, and the person was supposed to be giving you at least 70%, the person was giving you 25%, that person rather did you good. Can that be a sin?
And is this explanation that the cocoa farmers don't understand?
They do.
Or the NDC is not doing it?
The only people who are not willing to understand that argument are the people who think that commodity pricing at the world market level can be weaponized as a political tool. That is my brother Jay Hyde and the MPP.
Okay.
And it is the same thing I am seeing beside me here.
No, Matthias is neutral, by the way. I mean, he's not stated his affiliation to any political party.
Let me tell you.
Let's not have that conversation.
Let me tell you something.
No.
On matters of national governance that border on the lives of people, neutrality is not what we actually require. Truthfulness and factualness is what we actually require. It's not even giving that.
Where he's coming from, I don't want it. I don't care about neutral.
Julius,
what I care
that would be unfair.
Listen,
factual. He is not being factual. That is the
Julius, that would be unfair. That would be unfair. Matthias,
is that the fact and the truth is that the people who has migrated from the north to my constituency, they don't understand the English you are speaking.
Is that what the issue is?
Matthias,
is that what the issue is?
Matthias, I'm going to... Matthias.
Now means that if people don't understand the English I'm speaking, then you should lie.
Julius,
what you are saying.
Julius,
no.
disagree with him.
Julius,
you can disagree with him.
It's a matter of data. Yes, it's a matter of data. It's not that way. It's not. But the fact that you provided your data.
Julius,
it doesn't mean you lie. It doesn't mean you to lie.
Matthias,
it doesn't mean you have the right to lie.
Julius,
calling him a liar. The fact that you have provided your data, you give him a chance to also correlate what you have.
I don't have a problem with that.
Exactly.
So you just say he's neutral. And I said I don't care about his neutrality.
Julius, you're not helping the conversation. You're not. Isaac, let me come to you. Julius, you had your time. Let me come to Isaac.
You said something I'm responding specifically to. Let's do it. We are not going to allow that chat down to people.
Isaac, please go ahead. You have the floor.
Thank you very much. I think that my brother Julius should understand that the proof of the eating is in the of the pudding is in the eating, right? Proof of the pudding is in the eating. So it is not about the English and how you try to use semantics and a lot of the beautiful words that solves the problem of the cocoa farmer. What are the issues? The government of the day in opposition told the Ghanaian people and the cocoa farmers that the NPP government, who came to meet a cocoa price less than 500 Ghana cedis, but ended up leaving office by paying the average cocoa farmer over 3,000 Ghana cedis, is not paying them enough. This is a matter of fact. And you therefore went on to tell them that, given the mandate, you are going to pay them 6,000 Ghana cedis. Somebody came in from 2016, you were paying less than 500 Ghana cedis. Then, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, in the 2024-2025 season, then announces a 129% increment in cocoa prices and says that we are going to pay you over 3,100 Ghana cedis. The likes of Ato Forson, the likes of President John Dramani Mahama, and the NDC leadership engaged the Ghanaian people, went to the various cocoa farms and told them that the amount of money they are receiving is a rip-off. And therefore, given the mandate, they are going to pay how much? They were going to pay
6,500.
Today, where do we find ourselves? I'm even surprised that the NDC can boldly say that, global economic issues and price volatility is being caused by external shocks. When the NPP told them that COVID-19 and situations that we find ourselves in, that is happening in Ukraine and Russia, is affecting our economy, they told us that nothing like that existed. Today, they are referring to the very same issues to justify why they need to rip off the Ghanaian cocoa farmer. How have we arrived here? Cocoa Board takes cocoa farmers and projects that based on what they are expecting on the global market, they are going to pay these prices. Randy Abbey, the CEO of Cocoa Board, announces ahead of time that this is the amount they are going to pay cocoa farmers. They have made their projections. They are anticipating that we are going to, pay the farmers accordingly. Then what happens? Barely halfway into the purchase market, you come and tell us that there are economic issues and so you are reducing the prices. Is Ghana the only country which is being affected by by global economic issues? As I speak to you, the third major producing cocoa farming country in Africa is Cameroon. Cameroon has not reduced prices. Nigeria hasn't reduced prices. The likes of Ivory Coast have not reduced prices. What they have done is to, as much as possible, contain the shocks which are coming. What did Ghana do? And it hurts me so much that the very government that said that it was going to protect the farmer is the very government that is reducing the price of the farmer. We were here under the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo government when banking sector encountered some crisis. What did the government of the day do? Just like it happened in the United States, we intervened like a quantitative easy measure by putting money into the sector, because you recognize that the moment these bans go down, it affects households. How come this time around, the farmers, over 1 million Ghanaian farmers, whose children are going to school, whose children and households depend on cocoa farming, a sector which Ghana's economy has depended on for a very long time? I tell you what, schools like Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, if you go to University of Ghana, there's a hall called Ekwafo Hall. All these are major interventions which were done on the back of Ghana's cocoa sector. We are denying these very farmers whose contributions have held forth for Ghana's sector, for Ghana's economy, and us as a whole. I think that at a time like this is where the government needed to show up. What did they do? When the government announced that they are going to cut down the prices, the haircut, the very thing that they castigated the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo administration for, they are even doing worse. You would have expected that right there and then they would have shown some,
But paying 1 billion is not showing up.
They are not doing the cocoa farmers a favor by paying 1 billion. This is money owed them. This is something they should have done long ago. At the end of the day, this is not the first time that cocoa farmers have come out crying out to talk about the need for government to pay them.
But it's been barely a year.
It doesn't matter.
And you
are not doing me a favor by paying me what is due me. Because what you're supposed to do was to have paid earlier. About 4 months ago, cocoa farmers started crying across the country. I don't know if your oil waste catch it.
Yes,
but they started calling on the government.
The reason I'm asking is because you wanted them to make progress in ensuring that the cocoa farmers.
But the progress that I expect of them, it is not just to come and announce that, yes, we are facing challenges, so we are giving you a haircut by taking over 1,000 cedis from you. Right there and then, they should have shown some mitigation. What they subsequently announced, that they are going to cut senior management salaries and allowances by over 20%, should have been announced the very day that they announced that they were going to do the cuts. What they essentially did was that they were only responding to the pressure and the backlash that followed. This is not...
So it was not a matter of solving the problem, but it was because of the pressure that was put on them. At the end of the day, the salary cuts.
You shifted the burden directly onto the farmer without you as a government showing some sense of, rationality by saying that, I understand your plight, we are going to shoulder the burden together. What did you do? You only came forth to come and, speak this big English and tell us that, we are giving you this haircut because this is a challenge externally we are facing. But these are very external challenges that the NPP faced. Julius is here telling us that cocoa prices didn't dip at some point in time in 2017, 2018. Cocoa prices actually did dip.
2017, 2018 was not when COVID happened. Please.
Actually they dip. No, we are not talking about COVID. No, calm down, Julius.
He said COVID.
Calm down.
Julius, when you were speaking,
nobody intervened.
Julius,
I have not referenced COVID.
Julius, I said COVID and I responded to COVID.
But the gentleman is saying that he hasn't said anything. I said calm down.
2019. Why is 2017
calm down.
Did COVID happen in 2017?
Julius, listen. Julius, the way you
COVID did not happen in 2017. Let the record reflect that.
If you disrupt somebody's contribution, somebody will also
but you should be.
I'm saying not it down. But you're not even allowing anybody to say.
The gentleman did not reference COVID.
No,
it's not.
But you've done this.
The gentleman did not reference COVID.
It's not true.
When you were speaking, nobody intervened.
I'm saying
that's fine. COVID did not happen in 2017.
But he did not reference COVID.
When you're speaking,
the only reference.
Go on. COVID did not happen in 2017.
What you are doing is
go on.
When you're speaking,
I'm quiet. Go on.
When it comes to Aluta, everybody can do Aluta.
I'm not doing Aluta. COVID
when it comes to Aluta, everybody can do Aluta. So at the end of the day, we'll
COVID did not happen in 2017.
Because if you can interject anybody who is contributing, then anybody can also do the same to you.
You said 2017. COVID did not happen in 2017.
And I'm saying that the reference of COVID only came in when we were speaking to...
But it's always going to be your
turn. The reference of COVID... No. KNJ.
No, I don't understand why
you have opened the floodgates to disruption. No, because we are all going to interrupt.
Julius,
because he did not just do it to the general, he's also doing it to me.
Julius, what you're doing is unfair. What you're doing is unfair.
No, my guy.
Like COVID happened in 2017.
Nobody said
I have told you
nobody said COVID happened in 2017.
When is your time?
You brought data that says that COVID prices didn't dip. And I'm saying that what you said is factually inaccurate.
I will not accept this.
He should go.
I will not accept this.
I said he should go.
There's only evidence.
We'll take somebody who will come back and continue with the show.
Only ready.
Thank you for joining us and staying with us here on the show. We're still here on Prime Morning, and this is News Flash. It's proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise, Tofunks Papa Pafi, and of course, we say a big thank you to Koa Natural Fruit Juice as well. Also supporting us. We're looking at the cocoa pricing issue, and that's where we had to take a quick break. But Isaac, let me let you land. Land, and then let me go to Matthias.
Again, for me, this is just a strategy that the NDC has adopted. Disrupt the conversation so that the farmers and the Ghanaian people will not really understand the issues. Cocoa prices did dip in 2017, 2018. And again, when Julius references the issue about COVID-19, the only thing we have said about COVID-19 is the fact that during the COVID-19, and just like the Russia-Ukraine war, we mentioned that external factors has a possibility of affecting local dynamics, which they disputed. But today they are using the very same things to justify the situations that they are going through. But again, where Julius also doesn't get is that the data that he churned out, that during the 2017-2018 season, there was no price dip, is false. In 2016, we were looking at a global cocoa price range of $2,000, 678. As at the time of the 2017-2018 season, we were around $2,152. Is that the same price? Over $500 cut off from the price. So where is Julius coming from? How is he, harassing the gentleman? Again, we need to also understand that this is a platform.
2017, 2018.
Yes, and I've mentioned that in 2017, 2018, the price was $152.
The gentleman said there was a crash in COVID.
In 2016, the price at the time when the NDC was leaving office was $2,678. Isn't there a price difference?
2017.
No, and I've said that the issue about the mention of COVID was in reference to international shocks. COVID did not only happen in Ghana, it happened globally. But it affected everybody.
And it affected cocoa prices how?
No, take it easy. I've
That's
told
what
you,
we're asking.
allow everybody to make their contribution. You know where you and I are coming from. We are Nooks. We are former Nooks executives of senior.
I know.
As for that, Luther, we can all divert and then we just be and the fact is subject to data. When you made your contribution, every listening to you. So allow somebody else to also make. When you have the opportunity to contribute, and I'm saying that my reference to COVID is the issue about international shocks. The issue about pricing is between 2016, 2017, then 2017, 2018. 2016, which was the government in power, it was the NDC. What were you paying the Ghanaian cocoa farmer? At the end of the day, today, how much are you paying the cocoa farmer? In the 2024-2025 season, the NPP announced the biggest increase in cocoa prices. How much did we pay the cocoa farmer? We moved far beyond what we came to meet as less than 500 cedis in 2016 to as much as 3,100. If you cannot do anything at all, is to maintain the price. Because what do cocoa farmers do? In anticipation of the following season, they take loans from cooperatives, they plan accordingly. And that is why issues about galamsey and global warming, where farming and other things are affecting cocoa and growing areas, affects some of these outcomes. So somebody takes a loan and plans accordingly that I'm going to grow this number of acres. I expect that these are the returns I'm going to get. And out of that, I'm going to pay my loan. I'm going to have enough to take care of my household and my family and my children. Then you come. You, the person who is sitting in an air condition at Agbogboloshin, at the Cocoa Gold headquarters, who is using the cocoa farmers' money to buy land cruisers and cars all over the place, who is sitting down and only engaging in media razzmatazz, is just sitting on TV and giving excuses without going to the farms and understanding the plight of the people. So today, if the farmers are asking for their money, you are not doing them a favor. If you pay 1 billion, you are not doing them a favor. You are only paying what is due them. And this particular haircut that today you want us to just come, pretend like it's a normal thing, cannot be acceptable.
Okay, very well. Thank you very much, Isaac. Let me take your probably your last take on that, and then
finally, what I have to say on this issue is that I understand my brother where he's coming from. This government is in power. He speaks for the government. He wants to, do whatever he can to catch the eyes of the people at the top of this government.
Please, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Wait.
Speak to the issues. Let's not do that.
I'm going to speak.
Let's not do that.
Julius,
we will not take that.
Julius, you know that.
But you know that's personal and disrespectful.
You know the problem. You know the problem I have with you. It's as though you are always in a hurry to respond to anything, even when I want to intervene. No, stop. When he started, I was going to correct him.
Then please proceed.
But you keep messing up everything.
I'm not making
on the show
there are
today.
certain things that are not allowed.
So let me address that and stop it.
That's fine. Go.
Stop it.
When did you become like?
I was just about telling him not to say that, and all of a sudden you were just interrupting the entire show.
I am not. Yes, we don't come here and make personal attacks. So,
you just called me a liar. I made a submission. You called me a liar. True of us. Yeah, you did. But let me go on. It's okay. Let me go on. You see, St. Augustine of Great Harvard once said, great things or wild things don't feel sorry for themselves. Wild things, they don't feel sorry for themselves. Once you do something and you apologize, it means you know there's something gone wrong. You see, today it is clear. The Agric Minister, Ewereko Poku, has asked that people should understand, asking for forgiveness. I've heard, what's his name? The former deputy youth communications guy, I've forgotten his name.
For
the NDC.
NDC.
Yeah, he's been out apologizing. Do you understand? You see, at the beginning I said it's communication gone wrong. You understand? The cocoa farmer how the cocoa farmer understood whatever you said in opposition. Let me give you a perfect example. This cocoa issue with the cocoa farmers, their understanding on why what you said in opposition is the same understanding the youth of today got when you spoke about the 24-hour economy. That understanding the youth got when you spoke about the 24-hour economy, 133, is the same understanding that these cocoa farmers had when you spoke to them in opposition. Do you understand? Today, it is clear that this 24-hour economy presentation you made in opposition is shifting goalposts. Do you understand? It's shifting.
The 24-hour economy.
Yeah, I'm saying that it's a communication gone wrong.
But the bill has been passed into law. I mean, they already presented that in the budgets, you know, and how they're going to even execute it the entire year and all that.
Okay, so
I don't think that is a problem.
Granted, but I'm saying, but I'm saying that the understanding the youth got in opposition and today what is happening is not the same thing. It's the same. That's a fact. It's the same thing that the cocoa farmers, the understanding they got when you're opposition, it's not what you are telling them today. That is why in the beginning I said it's a communication going on, because in communication, when I speak and you are supposed to receive and you don't get whatever I'm saying, I'm not communicating. Do you understand? Because if they got that understanding when the opposition, today we will not come and say that senior staff should cut their salary.
So is the explanation they are giving factual?
Yes.
The explanation the NDC is giving for that situation, is it factual?
It is not factual.
Because it could be factual, but based on how they understood it,
no,
they can
it is not factual. It is not factual. It is a communication that you gave. So if they received it, it means that it is the truth you spoke to them. You understand? Today you are shifting the goalpost. That's why I'm saying that if you are shifting the goalpost, then it means that it's a communication gone wrong. You get what I'm saying? Yes, because listen. Why are you cutting the salary of the why are you doing that? Why are you cutting their salaries? Why?
Because the money is not available. I mean, the cocoa situation right now does not give them that opportunity to give them the money they want to give them based on what is happening right now, the global situation right now. Is that not an excuse enough to be able to let the farmer understand that this is the problem we're facing? We need to also make sure we're able to pay you. So because we want to be able to pay you, let's bring it to this price so we're able to pay you. And when things get better, we can still continue to sort you out the way we are supposed to.
So it should have been done in the beginning. You understand? That is why I said that the little confusion that is surrounding all these things has to do with management. For instance, if I'm here and Joy FM has a problem, they have to speak to you. They just don't talk to you. They just get up and say, hey, we've reduced your salary. How would you take it? Do you understand? Meanwhile, you had an agreement with management. Okay, you had an agreement with management. So if you are
there was no prior engagement with the cocoa farmer.
There was no prior. Sometimes when I listen to them, they say, "Oh, they have
Julius,
there are three farmers." They said there are three cocoa farmers on the board or something like that. Yeah. But how did it go down?
To equate
commodity price. How did it go down?
Serious error.
How did it go down to the farmers? Do you understand? All of us understand and will agree that when we go to the cocoa farms, whatever we are saying here, what Jonathan what?
Julius,
whatever Julius is saying here, that is not how the cocoa farmers understood it. You understand? That is not it. So for me, I wouldn't dwell much on this one.
Okay.
But the fact is that I would just ask the president, you understand, whatever he can do to support the cocoa farmers, let's do it.
Okay.
I mean, so for me, that is...
Very well. I think we'll move on to the next conversation, which is also one of the things that I've
my second bite. Everyone had two bites.
You'd have to.
What do you want to clarify in 1 minute for me?
The issue about the...
But understand it's 1 minute.
1 minute, how do I have a second bite on 1 minute when I just had 10 games?
Because I know. I'm sure if you had done that... Julius,
you haven't?
No, he hasn't. I'm sure if you had done that, we would have been finished by now.
Oh, KMJ.
Instead of complaining.
Allow him to give us some 2-3 minutes to...
No, I can't give you more than 2 minutes.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You see, when we are saying that the farmer is not being cushioned today, and that is problematic, it would have been the ideal thing that the farmer be cushioned. But that ideal situation is not happening because of multiple factors that have exacerbated the plight of cocoa board over the period. Among them, do you know that under the New Patriotic Party, where he is deputy youth organizer, they imported several bales of cocoa jute bags in 2020, 2021. And that was enough to serve periods 2022, 2023, 2024, up to 2025. But in every subsequent year, they kept importing. Do you know what is even worse? They were not clearing it at the port. They are stuck at the ports there. 5 days to election 2024, they awarded a contract of $48 million US dollars. Not Ghana cedis, US dollars.
For same jute bags.
For same jute bags. What could have been the motivation? Procurement gigs. That can be the only reasonable motivation. If you have not cleared what you already have at the port and you are awarding new contracts, that could be the only motivation. Another problem is that DDAP, he kept talking about haircut. I didn't want to indulge him. But what we are seeing, is it really haircut? Commodity pricing. If this item cost 1 Ghana cedi today, but yesterday it was 5 Ghana cedis. While it was 5 Ghana cedis, you are supposed to make a sale and make returns on it. Then you come, at the rate of 5 Ghana cedis, you are giving only 20% or 25% of that 5 Ghana cedis, which will be around 1.5 cedis, to the one who actually produces it. Then another person is making that same sale on your behalf. And the price falls to 1 cedi or 2 cedis. And the person is giving you 90% of the 1 cedi. The one who got 5 cedis and gave you only 1 is now telling you that the one giving you 90% of the 1 cedi is cheating you. Is that a sane proposition? So much for us to equate it to haircut, which is a case of people literally giving you their money. And you agreeing with them that you will return it to them at a particular day. Then you decide that, no, I'm slashing the money into half. I won't give it to you. And I'm postponing what I will give to you to several years that you did not agree. How can this be compared? The comparison does not exist. Now, beyond that, what exacerbated cocoa board situation?
A minute more.
Sure, I'll sum up in the minute, don't worry. What exacerbated cocoa board situation is the case of the forest sale agreement. I earlier commented on that. They contracted in that forest sale agreement that they will be supplying an estimate of 800,000 tons of cocoa beans at a rate of $3,200 in the 2023-2024 crop year. They were only able to supply a little over 530,000 tons in that crop year, the lowest ever in the history of this country. The implication of that, when you have a forest sale agreement at $3,200, is that the extra, which is over 333,000 tons that you have not supplied, has to be deferred to the subsequent year, 2025. But what is worse is that the price as of 2025 was ranging around $7,000. So we have to buy from the farmer at $7,000, but you have locked us into a contract to sell it at $3,200, which is loss at whatever term you make. And that loss accounted for about $104 million US dollars. That is without quantifying the close to $1 billion we would have made if they had not locked us in that forest sale agreement in 2022, 2023, and 2024. All these things leave a heavy burden on cocoa board. And on the books of cocoa board itself, they left a debt of $32 billion that we have to be shouldering. They did DDEP. They actually did DDEP. Haircuts, proper haircuts, not what they are talking about. With cocoa board, 10 billion Ghana cedis, which was restructured to 2025. We had to pay that when we came to power. All these things militate in Nigeria that he is talking about. Have they imported cocoa juice sacks to the point of $48 million US dollars and it's stuck at the port? Is it happening in Nigeria? So you collapse the sector and we are trying to fix it. You collapse it and we are trying to fix it.
Let me you see the beauty of this show?
Yes.
The beauty of this show, you see it?
Yes.
Are you seeing it?
Yes.
Are you seeing the beauty of this show?
Yes.
The fact that when it's 10, nobody says it.
It's only when you are talking. You see the beauty of the show?
Yes.
You accept?
Yes. Which factual inaccuracies did you spot?
So you are the one.
Which factual inaccuracies did you spot? You see, things don't happen without looking. Which factual inaccuracies did you spot?
Before you go there, let me
Which factual inaccuracies did you spot and ignore?
But you spoke for almost about 5 minutes.
That's fine.
Nobody said a word. You made allegations against his party and himself.
Which
didn't say a word.
No.
Who
determines what is factual.
But if you
what
think
I'm
that
saying.
it's not factual, you
don't give me my opportunity to also make my contribution.
But I'm not preventing you.
Go ahead, let me make my contribution.
Okay,
so you keep quiet. You have done.
I'm not preventing you.
Okay, Julius.
I'm not preventing you.
That's the beauty of this show.
I'm not
It's
preventing
only one you are
The
talking.
proof of the pudding
That's
is
not,
in the
that's not
eating,
true.
my brother.
Probably
Let us go.
someone is saying it and you're saying we should allow it. Oh, please.
He could have interjected too.
That was a strategy.
If he had a fact
this morning
and I would allow
was to
it.
try as much as possible to disrupt the
allow it.
conversation.
It's not about you.
He has done his part.
It's not about you.
If he
Now,
spotted a factor in
I've actually sent you a document.
The viewers assume
Yes.
that he is speaking.
So allow. Calm down.
This one says, good morning, Mr. Host. Please read my message. Are you guest or host? When you ask NPP rep questions, allow them to answer, but don't ask more questions. When NDC rep is talking, you don't ask any questions at all, but rather insinuate. Is NDC telling farmers 2,500 Ghana cedi better than 3,100 Ghana cedis? Wiseman Magasin, I don't know where you're watching, but thanks for that message. Let me move on to the next person. And it says, Nana Kama says, even during the global pandemic, the Akufo-Addo government paid public service workers, particularly teachers, while they were at home for 9 months. Cocoa farmers were duly paid, even when the economy was in crisis. Fast forward to now, we are being told the economy has recovered. Yet this government is giving our farmers a beautiful haircut. Isn't it ironic? This one says that, Mr. Hose, you're not being fair to NDC, man, since the other two are all MPP members. Therefore, the NDC should be given ample time to explain matters. The NPP should not try to bring in COVID at all, since the country had more than 30 billion cedis inflows, which the NPP shared among themselves. The NPP has been disingenuous and mischievous in the sense that when NDC promised cocoa farmers 6,500 was when cocoa price in the world market was over $10,000, but the farmers were being shortchanged by the NPP by giving them only 30%. Host, I said that you were not fair to the NDC show. Why would you give him only 1 minute to rebut 10 minutes of pure lies by the two NPP? You guys, I don't even know what you're watching anyway. Good morning, Kem. The cocoa prices are fixed by Cocoa Board from September at the previous year to September the next year. NDC announced the producer price of 3,625. This ought to have remained fixed to September 2026. To change the mid-season is not acceptable. This 90% of chemical being paid now is just a face-saving act. Can this be sustained? As for the rep of NDC, his conduct is very shameful, to put it mildly. Well, they said that I'm not even letting him talk. This is somebody who talks more than everybody here on the show. Good morning, KMJ. Please, the NDC communicator, if only he has a point, he can make it without disrupting the show with such postures. I last watched how Hobson Adoye made his point without noise, but matters if he thinks he has a genuine point, it should be factual and not noisy. KMJ, tell Julius to tell his government that since they came into office, security services and the interior has not taken their rent allowance for 13 good months. Kabila Kadima sent in that. I'm sure Julius will have an idea. Good morning, Mr. Host. Please ask the NPP man to advise Awal to stop this yesterday. I sent in this again today. It's very important. Moses from Nigeria. Moses, what are you saying? What are you sending them? Good morning, KJ. I'm shocked of the submission of Mr. Boateng that the world market price of cocoa dropped during COVID. Okay, why can't we speak the truth on this in this world for once? Every smart and honest cocoa farmer knows that even though the price of cocoa currently is sold at 2,587, as against the NPP government of 3,100 Ghana cedis, there's an increase in real income of the farmer because one can now buy 51 gallons of fuel as against 34 gallons during the NPP time. One can also buy 32 bags of cement as against 26 bags of cement, unless you are naive to know some of these basic facts before believing NPP communicators, and it's I like blindly. Okay, so maybe I'll do the last one and then we'll move on. We'll probably even say goodbye on the show. Good morning, Kenya. Please, next time, invite people who will respect the viewers. Julius is not... Okay. Yes, make the point, but don't make it personal, please. NDC have nothing good for Ghanaians. NDC promised to pay cocoa farmers 6,000, and that's why they voted for NDC. They don't care either the world will come to an end today, pay them their 6,000 during COVID-19. And ADO was able to serve Ghanaians, even those who couldn't go to work for a month. Mahama and NDC are a bunch of liars. None of promises shall come to pass. Ask them for me, where is the one-time health insurance they promised some years ago? They are nothing but lies in government. Okay, let me leave it there. And this one is, it says Cocoa Marketing Company. It's addressed to Cocoa Board, the Cocoa Marketing Company Ghana, and it says all approved purchases under the facility agreement. And it's from Standard Chartered Bank, and it says that the date is 13th September 2024. It says, the subject says, discharge letter Ghana Cocoa Board, USD 800 mil receivables backed trade finance facility agreement for purchase of cocoa in the Republic of Ghana, dated 12 December 2023. The facility agreement. And it says, this is to advise you that the facility agreement terminated on the 30th of September 2024 due to a full repayment. We confirm that all amount outstanding under the facility agreement and the other documents as such, terms defined in the facility agreement have been paid and discharged in full, and accordingly, the security period as such term is defined in the facility agreement has expired. We would also like to take this opportunity to confirm that all fees have been paid, therefore no other outstanding payments are due. All on service 2023-2024 contracts that were assigned to the facility agent are hereby released to Cocoa Marketing Company Ghana Limited. Yours faithfully, Valdeep signed this under the Director Transaction Management Group.
Yes. The document you have read is evidence of the fact that in the year 2023-2024, the NPP paid all claims and outstandings relative to any syndicated loan the NPP paid before leaving government. As a matter of fact, when we were even leaving, Cocoa Board had a balance of over $500 million. First of all, what we've been able to do this morning is to disprove the fact that the NDC just keeps lying, using flamboyant words just to evade responsibility about the detriment on the farmers. So this document you have read, marked confidential, is evidence that 2023-2024...
So these were all payments that were made
concerning the 2023-2024 season, government did not owe any debt. Everything was paid for.
Debt to who?
That's what I'm asking. That it was basically
the syndicated loan that the government, because at the end of the day, when you pay, Cocoa Board actually contracts loan. You need financiers within the global market. So you go onto the global plane and you ask for financiers. You take that, give me this amount of money, let me use it to go and buy these purchases. When I'm done, I'll make profits and I'll come and pay you back. The NDC is saying, and Julius and his people are saying, that government left a huge bunch of deficits at Cocoa Board, for which reason today we are suffering. And I'm saying that that is not true, because I have provided you with a document which indicates that every other expense at the time had been paid for. Again, if there are some carry-forward responsibilities that Cocoa Board needed to meet, there are enough buffer stock in terms of money available to pay for that.
Okay.
As I speak to you, they are currently referencing other issues concerning mismanagement and other things. Were we not in this country when the NDC told us that they are setting up ORA, and for that matter, they are going after people? What has happened to that? They've been in office the whole of 2025. They didn't see the need to go after anybody who was in the management of Cocoa Board. Today, they are telling us that Cocoa Board has been mismanaged, and for that matter, they are now feeling the shocks of it. Last year, when they went about carrying chairs to the farms, going to sing praises upon themselves, they didn't see the need to go arrest former management of Cocoa Board.
Okay.
Again, lastly, I'm also asking that all that the government needed to do is to sometimes be humble and admit that here we got it wrong. Our anticipation, whatever we convinced and lied to you, we couldn't fulfill it. Please, maybe while sitting behind. And that's why we say that somebody like Randy Abbey, we can only say that talk is cheap. Because when you sit back, how you see and perceive things may be different from when you are sitting in that chair in the office.
Okay.
And so the NDC just have to admit, because all the excuses they are giving, whether they like to, in any case, Opuni, who was being charged during the previous administration for causing financial loss to the state, you only came and you just came to, use knowledge prosecutor to say that you are no more interested in the case.
Okay.
And discharge. Today, you are saying that some people... Meanwhile, you've been in office for almost 2 years, and you're not doing anything about it.
Okay, guys, let's make progress. Let's talk about the next conversation. I think we can do just 1 minute or two on that conversation, please. I'll start with you, Matthias. The baby theft thing, what do you want to say about that?
Well, this is not a new thing. It's not a new thing. It's just that we need to put good security measures in place so that this thing do not happen again. In 2001, the same incident happened, and then even with that one, it involved doctors, nurses, midwives, and then a lot of things. A lot of people were involved in that thing. So, this baby theft thing, I think we really need to beef up our security, especially in the hospitals and clinics. You understand? And then this is not only a matter that is happening in Ghana. You see, in Africa, it's really rampant in Africa, especially in Kenya and South Africa. You understand? So for me, I think that in Ghana, for instance, our nurses and midwives and doctors should really know or help us protect our children. Because for a woman to get pregnant, 9 good months, you go give birth, and then before you realize your child is gone. That is serious. That is serious. And what happened at Mamprobi, but this is the point of a lady, what I was 37 or Kofanochi. She gave birth, and then when she got conscious, she came back, she regained consciousness, she was told the baby was dead.
Just like that.
Just like that. And then she got furious, very angry, started putting things on social media. And later we got to realize that the baby was placed in a different. You understand? So I mean, it's really bad. And then I think that what is leading people to do most of it, one, it's how we look down on women who are not able to give birth. 2, I think that it will be, how do you call it? Covetousness. You understand? Covetousness. So for me, what I can say to close this chapter has to do with letting our security, beef up our security at the clinics and hospitals.
Okay. Very well. Thank you, Matthias. Julius.
I think that hospitals are where humans are most vulnerable. And of humans, babies are the most vulnerable of us. And their protection should be at the heart of everyone, every Ghanaian. And we must ensure that this situation does not, rear its head again. But in all of it, the event has spoken a lot about the operational readiness of our police service, which over the years has developed. We have seen them deploy their expertise in multiple other issues. These days, when a wrongdoing is happening somewhere, all you need is someone being able to video it and put it on social media. And then there is a swift response. I think that that operational readiness of the Ghana Police Service, which has developed over the years, is one thing that, in the circumstances, as unfortunate as the incident itself was, is laudable. And so I commend the police so much for the swift response to it and getting the baby back to the mother. I wish the mother of this baby and the little baby, I think he was born on Valentine's Day. I wish them very well, on a day of love like that. And someone wants to deprive. It's so unfortunate that such a thing even stood a chance of happening. But in all of it, we thank the Ghana Police Service for their swift response.
Very well. Isaac.
Yes, KMJ. Again, I mean, I share similar concerns with my colleagues on the panel. I mean, it's unfortunate for a woman to carry a child for 9 months, sometimes, antenatal, prenatal, all the happenings, only for you to go and give birth, and suddenly somebody will come in and take the baby away. Again, we need to also commend our security services for the quick intervention which saved the situation. I mean, it goes without mention that the previous government started something they call the Alpha Project. You see a number of cameras all in town. Don't take it for granted. As soon as something happens, there's a need. The moment they intervene, they follow through with a number of these things, and they are able to track down the perpetrators. But more so, we need to also hold people responsible. Our hospitals must do better because this is a managerial issue. The moment you enter that hospital, responsibility is on the part of the hospital to protect mother and child. And so, under somebody's supervision, this happened, and so somebody must definitely answer for it. This. Perhaps if it had happened 20 years ago, we probably may not find this child. And a mother who has gone through all the difficulties of a pregnancy may never get a chance to appreciate what God has given that child. And so we would also have to hold ourselves responsible. Once again, you remember the recent happenings about the young man, a 29-year-old man who died when the Ghana Ambulance Service failed to secure a bed for him because a number of our hospitals could not admit the person. It can be any of us. Yeah. And the circumstances under which you may find yourself in a particular hospital is not a question of whether you are rich or poor. Yeah. It depends on where you find yourself at the time. And the moment you enter into a hospital, the onus lies on the hospital to hold you responsible for they being under your care. And therefore, we must not make excuses for people. I find it very problematic when we try to give justification as to why the woman will do so. Yeah. I empathize. Yes, maybe women go through a lot of, castigation, sometimes all kinds of, attacks go on women who are not bearing child and all that. We all have to stand up to time and also speak for situations like that. The essence of education is that we need to stand out among many in our communities to protect women and other vulnerable people. But it does not give justification, because if that justification is made, then armed robbers can also go about and do their thing and say that they are not getting jobs.
Desperate for money.
Because they're desperate and they're not getting anything. So we all have a role to play. Much as we are making excuses for people, much as we are commending the police, much as we are commending the gender ministry for their quick intervention in all relevant agencies, we must also ensure that people who have been given the responsibility, each and every sector, to take care of us must also be held accountable. Thank you.
Very well. Thank you very much, Isaac. And the woman in question, Latifa, has been arraigned before court. And we're hoping that, whatever it is that is involved in this will all come out. And hopefully, I don't know about her mental.
It's sad. Really sad.
State of mind right now, but I know a lot of women have also made, defense for her and all of that.
We should pray there are circumstances that
it's unfortunate.
That would
the level of desperation that would get you to go to that.
I pray there are circumstances that will mitigate the consequences.
In a way, we all pray for that. Anyway, thank you so much. And Isaac Jay Hyde joined us this morning, Deputy National Youth Organizer, MPP, Julius Anthony's Communications team member for the NDC, joining us this morning as well. Matthias Bonzo-Ewereko also joined us here as well. He's the Executive Director, Center for Global Affairs and Responsible Governance. And that's our time for News Flash this morning, proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise, though Phones Papa Pafi, and also we say a big thank you to Kowa Natural Fruit Juice as well.